So what makes Young Living different? And the biggest difference is not only the history of the company, it's been around for over 20 years, and Gary Young brought essential oils back to the United States after studying for years and years under the best distillers in the world at the time in France. But Young Living is the only company with the seed to seal promise. And it sounds like a slogan, but it really is the way we do business. And those 5 steps in the seed to seal process are, first of all, seed, and that is selecting the best seeds so that we get the oils that produce the best chemical constituents and the best therapeutic results. So if you don't start with good seeds, the whole process is pointless. After that, it's cultivating. And Young Living has farms all over the world, farms that we own, farms that we partner with, farms that are co-op farms, farms that work in greater than organic methods and processes, doing things by hand in order to cultivate plants that are grown on soil that doesn't have any chemicals in it. Things are done by hand, like I said, the weeding and a lot of the cultivation and harvesting methods are kind of ancient methods that work best for those plants. So the other thing is, it's kind of tedious, I think. I'm glad I'm not doing it, but they have to harvest at the right time for those plants. So that means that a lot of the firs and the pines, they've got to be harvested in the dead of winter. Some other things have to be harvested at night, or that has to be harvested and the plant material has to dry for a certain amount of time before it's distilled. So it's all a very scientific process that they have just tested and tested and tested to make sure that the way that they cultivate, the way that they grow, and the way they harvest is going to produce the best oil as well. So then after you harvest it, you've got to distill it. So this means with low heat, low pressure steam for all of the distilled oils. There are some that are cold pressed, like the rinds for the citrus oils. But this means the steam method does not produce the most oil, it produces the best oil, because you can use solvents and high heat and produce a lot of oil out of the plant, but it's not going to have therapeutic value. So taking the time and doing it low and slow is the way to get the best oil, least amount of oil, but the best oil, which is what we want. And during that distillation process, we move into step 4, which is testing. And as the distillation is happening, the oils are tested on site to make sure everything is coming out as it should be. The oils are also tested by third parties, and they're tested 7 ways by Young Living. Young Living has some equipment that other companies don't even have, because they want to make sure that not only does the oil have the right constituents and chemicals in it, but it doesn't have anything extra either. And the way to do this also is to have an extensive database, so that the scientists have experience and the database has the breadth of knowledge to compare all of the oils. The lavender distilled this year matches up with the lavender that's been distilled for the last 20 plus years by Young Living. So if you don't have that history, you also have no idea what you're looking at, because a lot of it's just charts and graphs and it's not necessarily labeled for you. You have to know how to read it. So after the testing process, then we go to the bottling process, and that's the sealing process. And that's where the oils are shipped to one location where they're bottled and sealed and numbered so that they can all be tracked, and then they're shipped out from that one location. It's very easy to add fillers to oils to stretch them out and make more money, to add extra things to them. So Young Living has a very tightly controlled process to make sure that they know exactly what goes in that bottle and that all of the oils are completely pure. So the other exciting thing about Young Living is I love plants and I love travel, and all of these farms all over the world are available for Young Living members to visit. So that is my bucket list, to see all of the Young Living farms all over the world. So the first one I'm going to is one that grows lavender and about 8 different things in Utah, and I'll be going to that one in June, and I'm so excited. So seed to seal, it's Young Living's way of doing business. It's not a slogan, it's a promise.